Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you're looking for a rack that's going to be able to carry a variety of different types of bikes, including those really heavy e-bikes, then the Inno HD Tire Hold bike rack is going to be a great choice for your 2022 Ford Bronco Sport. Now, the reason why I say this is a great choice for those really heavy e-bikes is because it's going to have an 80-pound weight capacity, being able to carry 2 bikes. Now, that will reflect in its tilt-away. To really show you what I mean, if I just tilt this back some, you'll notice this doesn't go very far back at all. So when I go to use my hatch or try to open it, I won't be able to open it up very much. I just barely bypass my pedals, and it's getting really close to my bike's frame, just barely scooting on by, but we will hit our handlebars. Now, this will give you the opportunity to maybe grab a few items out of here, maybe a helmet, or throw some groceries in here, but you won't be able to do much beyond that. Now, if you're thinking about wanting the full access to this most times, then I'd recommend checking out the Thule Epos bike rack, because that's going to have a pretty extreme tilt, being able to tilt almost 90 degrees back. But if we want to take a closer look at this rack, I'm going to have to take off my bike. And to do that, I'm going to have to come over here, press this button, and this is going to release our arm, and then I'm just going to push out. Now, this is kind of an awkward, clunky design, so if you just wiggle a little bit, you should be able to get it. And then you do the same thing for the back side. Pushing that away. And with this free, you just lift up on your bike and take it out for a ride. Now, if you're looking for an easy way to take off your e-bikes, you could get a ramp attachment for this. You can find that on our website. Now, I will say the ramp attachment does attach a little awkwardly. To really show you what I mean, I'll show you real quick. We'll have a button here on the side. I'll just press in on that. Lift this lever up, then I can pull this out, lower this down, and that's where the ramp is going to attach. And that's a little bit of work for me, so if you're looking for an easier solution to that, the Yakima On-Ramp LX bike rack is really good for really using ramp and attaching it. But when you're done, you can put everything up, and we can get a few measurements. Now, the first measurement I'm going to get is going to be the overall distance it sticks out. That's going to be a little bit under 35 inches, which isn't too bad. It's something to think about more if you're in those really tight spots. Anywhere like a garage or parking spot. For the ground clearance, that's going to be at about 20 inches, which sits pretty high up, which is nice because you don't have to worry about making ground contact. The downside of that is when you're lifting those really heavy e-bikes up here, that's going to be a challenge. But we can save space with this design. All I have to do is pull on that lever and push up. And we're going to have 2 different spots. This first spot is going to be for if you have anything on the back of your Bronco. Then we can just tilt this back some, and that's going to sit at a little bit over 22 inches, which is okay, but we can do a lot better. We fold it all the way up though. Now we're going to be saving a lot of space, and this is going to sit at just about 16 inches. So that's almost half the distance as what it was before. But it is going to block a few items or accessories or parts of our vehicle back here. Now, with most bike racks, we're always going to block our license plate and our backup camera. That's just the way the Bronco is built, because everything's just really low. As for your taillights, those will be partially obstructed. I'm sure people will still be able to see them though. And as for our back window, that won't be obstructed. And what's nice about the Bronco is there's actually a lever you can pull on here if you just want to lift this up. So I still can access a few items via this way. But we can take a look at how this installs. And this is going to install with this 2-inch shank. This is going to go into this 2-inch hitch receiver. And we'll have a threaded pin that goes through. And what I like about this design is we have this plate up top. You can tighten this down, so if you do take this out a lot, it's going to be a little bit easier to know where that pin is going to line up with. What I don't like about that pin is it's a knob on one side, and it does take a while to thread on. And certain types of hitches, where their safety loops really are located, that can really interfere with that pin. So that's just something to think about with this rack. Now on the back side of it, this is something I like a little bit more. It's going to be this included tightening device. You don't need any tools for this. You just come by, turn it. Once it's tightened all the way, line it back up, and then you can lock it into place so no one can come by and take your rack. But in my opinion, I think this is a pretty solid option. Now I do think the Thule Epos does have some benefits over this. The two main ones that stick out is that tilt-away feature is going to make getting into your hatch a lot easier, and the way it actually installs is going to be easier too, because it has a pin hook on it that just clips into place, so you don't have to deal with threading a pin all the way through. Now the downside of that doesn't have a fold-up option. So if you are wanting this to live more full-time on your vehicle, then that's going to be an issue with that one, because that's going to stick out a lot further as opposed to the Inno in its folded up position. But really, it's just going to depend on whether this is living on your vehicle or mainly being stored in your garage. Well, that's just a look at the Inno HD Tire Hold bike rack on the back of our 2022 Ford Bronco Sport. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.